mature and sensitive. But that's all set to change as comedian and author Steve Bedwell has now made it a lot easier for blokes by writing a baby book in the most bloke-friendly format around, the Car Manual. Please welcome Steve Bedwell.
Thank you.
Steve, well done. Great idea. Why is it so hard for men to read those standard baby books?
It's just rubbish. I mean, it's very hard to relate to what's going on in a woman's body if you're a man. It's very difficult to understand what's occurring, the changes and everything. And you just get those highlighted sections that are just handed to you in the middle of the night that you're expected to read, but you never do.
Yes. So you've got a daughter, three and a half.
Yeah.
How are you going with fatherhood?
I love it. It's fantastic. Nothing can prepare you for it, but only because not only how difficult it is, but how good it is. There she is. I don't know who the old bloke is with her.
Lovely.
So, Steve, do you wish, in hindsight, though, that you had have read more leading up to the birth?
No, I don't, because the surprise was fantastic. Because you've got to be at the birth. That's the thing. If you're not at the birth, that'll be held against you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, it's like watching your favourite pub burn down. But it is important that you're there.
So why then did you decide to write the book? Why do you think blokes need to know stuff about it?
Well, it's just sort of they needed something to be funny, number one. That's the only way that a man will actually read about what's going on in terms of fatherhood. And number two, in a form that they can understand, which is a car owner's manual. So it treats the baby like it's a car. It's from Mother Nature Heavy Industries, who've manufactured the child.
I love it, and sometimes you call the child the product, which I love as well.
And the mother is the co-owner.
Yes. And I love so you've got basically it's really helpful, and like you said, it's very easy for guys to read. Quickly give you an idea. You talk about sterilisation here, and you say, please note for the second child, the sterilisation rules under which you currently labour will cease to exist, and you can take a pacifier straight out of the dog's mouth, give it to the baby, and the co-owner won't mind.
That's it. Second child, everything's out the window, apparently. I'm looking forward to that bit.
Yeah, all bets are off with second child.
Were you prepared for the whole quagmire of prams?
Ah, the pram. See, once again, anything you buy, you must seek consultation completely, from the smallest thing to the largest thing, otherwise it will be wrong.
Of course.
And
Yes.
the biggest thing with the pram, despite they come with cup holders and sat-navs and everything these days, is the fact you need to be able to fold it up and put it in the boot easily. That's number one concern. Always take the car when buying a pram.
Yes.
That's a good tip.
Very
What
frustrating.
things did you write about in the book that you wish you'd been told?
Well, I went out and bought a feeding chair that was fundamentally inappropriate, because I bought a feeding chair that I'd like to watch the telly in.
As an adjacent recliner.
Yeah, which is, and if you get a feeding chair, I found out the best way for a man to buy a feeding chair is to wake yourself up at 2 in the morning, sit in the chair, this is to find a comfortable one, have a large teddy bear in your arms and attach a bulldog clamp to one of your nipples for 20 minutes. And then after 20 minutes, change it to the other nipple. And if you can get comfortable in that chair doing that, then that's the right chair to have.
What have you found? Changing nappies and all of that has been fine. You haven't found anything the most tedious task in terms of having a little baby?
Changing nappies is always interesting, because just when you think they're finished, they're not really. They've always got that little bit extra for you when it comes to changing a nappy.
Now tell us about your description of the difference between the two products, as in the sex.
Well, it's basically, it's like looking at two different models of car. Some have different outward features than the other ones, and some tend to keep their operating features more internal and secretive. The other one of it tends to be more showy.
Or dangly.
And you obviously love cars, and your pride and joy is not only your daughter but also your Fairmont, apparently. But what order of priority does it come in? Be careful.
Wife. Wife number one.
Co-owner. Now, little Zara is 3.5, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Does that mean you're going to have a guidebook for
I'm working on a toddler book.
toddlers?
Yeah, and that's a completely different thing altogether again. This is starting at the age where they can roll. Because once they can roll, they actually have full independence. You can put them down, and next thing they'll be in the laundry. They just get themselves around the house incredibly easily when they can roll.
Well, it's a great book, and it's a perfect Father's Day present, hint, hint, for this weekend. Please put your hands together for Steve Bedwell. So if you know someone that's about to become a first-time dad, look out for the Baby Owner's Manual. It's out now. And good news, everyone in our studio audience is going home with a copy of Steve's Baby Owner's Manual.